Oh yes.
There.
Please lower it some more. I'm sure they can see us just fine right there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for anything. What's up with this? Is it reconnecting? Can people see us?
Yeah, it says we're live. I see green lights.
Oh wait,
so
I do.
come on in,
Oh
folks.
man.
If you're new here, we would graciously ask y'all to give us that subscribe. Share us out and help us grow. It's greatly appreciated.
Yes.
And
Hi.
basically, anything that we've ever asked, to help with the support of our channel is basically watch the videos, watch the ads. That's how we get paid.
Yeah.
If you would like to go that one step further, there's always the super chats, there's always the memberships, but we never ask you to do that. So we'll let people filter on in.
Oh,
Heather Hopper's in the house. Hello. Kim Campbell. Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Black Sheep Projects. Hello, brother. How's the car going? Any updates to the car?
Early. Oh, no. Sorry, Willow. Sorry. She's already like, hey, what about me?
Kim says, thank you very much, or thank you both for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
So tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Yep.
Yep.
He said, sold rolling in mom's old car for now. Oh, okay.
Good. I'm just glad that you were actually in an area this time where you have, resources, you have friends, you have family available.
Yeah.
That you're not like stranded without a vehicle. So good to hear.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So, hope y'all had a very good morning, especially since it is since we are in that hunting season.
Someone's trying to come say hello.
Or at least modern gun.
You might be.
No, she can't see her. You can't see her.
Yeah,
She's
you can.
like right there, barely. But okay, get out.
I know, Willow. You just want to say hi.
All right.
All right, go lay down.
She's not gonna go now.
Go.
Willow.
Go lay down, baby. Baby, go lay down.
Oh.
It never fails.
Go. Oh, she's not gonna.
Yeah.
And there it goes. Instead of trying to do it all at once, do it one at a time. Put that down first.
She's spilling water everywhere.
Yeah.
With the ice trays. One of these days, like I've always wanted to get one of the ice makers that you can set like on your countertop.
Go.
I mean, I would love to have one of the bigger like industrial ones that make ice makers. Be able to just like set out in the garage or something.
Yeah, you like Sonic's ice because all crushed and everything.
Because once we get to doing the eight different people, don't mind the kids in the background. They've especially the little one. She has not been listening all day today, so she's still not listening now by coming out here. So, but with the ice, we're eventually gonna have 8 folks living here, and then
not in this RV.
Not in the RV, but on the property, right?
No.
People that utilize the stuff around here, and then at some point, someone's sister is trying to move up here from Texas, so that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. They have 6 in their family. So we will see because they may or may not be like temporarily on the property until because they are trying to get their own land. It'd be nice if we can get, because there's 15 acres I think right across the street from us. That's not for sale, but I do, because I mean I'm pretty sure that all of his property that was in his name went to his son because he had passed away earlier this year.
Yeah.
I still talk to his brother. His brother had already reached out to me and like, man, I need to drop by one of these days with a bottle of bourbon so we can catch up. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
because he's the one that owns the 10 acres next to us, and I would still like to be able to talk to him and just say, hey, because right now there's just a house sitting up there empty, and even see if they might want to like possibly rent it, because that might even be an option.
So
for her sister.
Scroll here. One of the
all
hens,
the chickens and stuff.
One of the hens just jumped into Lilu's kennel.
Yeah.
One of the blondes.
Oh yeah, they all go in there.
They love to visit Lilu and take her food.
Which Dad thinks that they're all roosters. And there's probably a good chance that every single one of these birds,
except for
one, which we know she lays eggs, which is the mother of all
the other blondie,
other than Max,
and the other blondie, yes, but the other two might be roosters, but the blondie is not. So, yeah, so
and Wee Man, which that's probably the only one that's going to stick around. Because I do not want roosters other than Max.
Oh, we don't know.
Me personally.
You personally, exactly. He's like all personally him, but he doesn't take into account everybody else that is in this property. Yeah. So, no. It's a vote. Thank you.
So, Kim asked, who will stay in your RV?
Yeah, it would be my sister.
Yeah, so once we get the gathering house in place, we are going to basically winterize this RV. It's going to go back to the front of the property, just stowage.
Just until she gets everything
and then
ready to come over here.
We will have to get another power pole reestablished up front, because we are utilizing that power pole we had up front for the gathering house. I already have it moved over. It's already been disconnected, all those things. I still need to put it in place. Because we're still obviously in the process of doing the house pad. It does need a little bit more work. It needs to dry out. Right now it's mud. I mean, you can't even walk out there without,
you sink a little bit. Yeah, you sink a little bit.
But yeah, as they're looking for their property or in transition of why they're looking for, because if they're able to find property right away before moving, then they'll just utilize the RV on their own property.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to use the RV here, and then we'll transition them over to their property.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the goal.
Yep, because as you've seen, everybody needs. Everybody comes to that point where they do need help, and it's good to have someone there to help them out, just like they helped us out. Our friends, and we stayed in their property for half a year until we had everything situated here. So it's nice. To be able to pay that forward, kind of thing. So.
Oh, he's playing with my feet.
Today we went out hunting for the second day. We didn't catch anything.
This one gets very impatient.
No, it's not that I get very impatient. So we've been out, and
it's just
every time I see something, it's like a fat squirrel, and I'm like. And then he's
big old fat squirrels.
I see so many fat squirrels around here. I'm like, you know what? I should have just gotten a 22 and then just use that for the squirrels.
Well, I mean, if you follow our Instagram or Facebook page, I have posted some of the views and stuff like that. Which obviously for weather wise, the opening day yesterday was
for Modern Gun.
For Modern Gun. Which that's all we have currently. We don't have. Obviously, we can go get, a crossbow or a bow and arrow, which I do have a compound bow in the shop, but it needs to be restrung.
Yes.
It needs a little bit of cleanup, and some of the cams need to be worked and stuff like that. But it wasn't mine. It was one that was already at this house here.
Yeah.
And I actually took it out. I was like, hey, this is actually not in bad shape. It just needs to be restrung.
Yeah.
So I was going to look into it, possibly. If it's not worth it, then I'll just keep it as a wall hanger, basically.
But yeah,
I'll put it in the shop or something.
We're looking. We do know we have at least five does, maybe a button, in our property for sure. Yeah. We've already caught them in our cameras.
Yeah, they come around about every 2 days, 2 to 4 days. And like right here behind the chicken coop, right here behind the RV, they're eating all the acorns or acorns, however you want to say it.
Acorns.
Yeah.
Acorns.
Around this area, a lot of people call it acorns.
Acorn.
Everywhere else in America, it calls it acorn.
Yeah.
But
acorns. Yeah. That's like when you say Wichita. No, I say
Ochita.
But you say Wichita. And it's like, it's not Wichita. It has an O. But,
Yeah.
Different places say it
Hello,
different
Peter.
ways.
But it's so. But on the camera, they normally come around this area like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I think the earliest we've caught them on camera was 10, which obviously it's still dark, right? Yeah. So if you're to go out and do anything like that, it's obviously illegal.
It's already after.
You can't do stuff like that. So they do make the feeders though, because I do have a feeder there, that was trying to get them to come into the property. Our neighbor has a bunch of feeders on his 10 acres.
Yes.
Out there.
They make the feeders to condition them. The feeders that they have are the ones that are set up with the daytime.
Like they only open during the day.
Only during the day, yeah. And it's to condition them to come to the property and eat during those times. But hey, that's a pretty penny to buy those.
Yeah. But
do we can make some our own, kind of like we do with the.
Well, because we don't necessarily have like any food plots set up on the property, which we would like to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a lot of oak trees, so that's one of their favorite, things is all those acorns. So, and that's all over the entire property. So, we do have signs of deer, even where I have the leaner stand that I built. It's up on the top where we plan on putting our house, and there's many signs of rubs, of bucks that have come in. So we'll see.
Just waiting. You need to use a deer tube. Yeah. Well, he ended up reusing the feeders that I had for the dogs. So he ended up using that to fill up the
4-inch PVC piping.
So I don't know if y'all remember that. It was on another video, I believe, that we had those feeders that we had put up for the dogs. But when we moved the dogs, we didn't need them anymore. No. So he reutilized them. So you've got 2.
I put 2 out. Out of we have 3 of them. I do want to. Because I'm going to move stuff around. I've already moved the camera up. Just be able to see what time they're coming around up there.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we even talked about this morning is possibly this spring, maybe. It all depends on what's going on, because obviously all of our time right now is getting put into the gathering house.
Yes, it is.
So as much as we can, right? We're working around the weather. But
even Dad's working right now. He's outside clearing out your working space.
Yeah, the working space that we plan on doing.
Both of y'all,
so as of right now, working around the weather, can't really bring in materials and stuff like that. It doesn't cost anything to clear land, right? If you're doing it by yourself, right?
Yes.
And but we already know that even once the gathering house comes in, we still have to do all the electrical.
Yes.
We still have to do all the water,
plumbing.
We still have to do all the sewer type stuff. So those are things that we still have to get. Well, we already have all the electrical stuff that we need. We just got to run it. And then we already have all the fresh water stuff that we need to connect the well.
We just have to run it.
We just have to run it.
We would have to do a ditch. We would have to make a ditch for all the pipings for the sewage.
Yeah.
To get there. Yeah.
And then for the wastewater, I think that I want to try to even possibly look at all of our gray water. I'm probably either going to just send to like another little holding tank, because we have some of these IBC totes. possibly just running gray water to Ivey tote, and then have that as like an overflow thing. That way we can utilize that for either garden or kind of reutilize some of that water.
Yeah.
And then for the toilets, right?
Toilets. I knew you were gonna do that.
for the toilet.
The toilets.
Toilet. Right. I can never say it. It's toilet.
Yes.
Actually having, because it's 2 restrooms, and actually having that go into septic, and that would be it. Yeah. No, I might go ahead and run, because I want to try to minimize the amount of gray water that's going to septic.
Yes.
I still might have, laundry maybe, because that would have the most like soaps and stuff, I guess, in it. So, because it's going to have a laundry room in the actual house itself. So, with that, I think
it's awesome, because you don't have to run outside in the rain to wash clothes.
Yeah.
And go ahead and dry clothes.
Yep.
So yeah.
Everything will be right in their washing machine and dryer right next to each other, instead of having to walk across the yard.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said, everything's in due time. In due time.
Yeah.
Yes, those little things a lot of people like take for granted, and you're like, I was like, well, it's okay, because it makes the kids always have been spoiled and have had everything, and to kind of like bring them back to the beginning, and show them, hey, look, this is what we struggled with when we were younger, and now y'all get to experience some of that. But it humbles them.
Yeah, it does. So projects.
Yeah.
So obviously talking projects.
Yes.
So you guys know, obviously, a lot of the gathering house stuff is going to be on the main focus whenever we can get to that.
And he is looking, and you didn't say that because we had gotten so carried off on the conversation.
I know, we're always bouncing around.
That you were.
We got to reel it back in.
So he told me up there in the morning when we were, attempting to hunt, because we haven't seen anything other than fat squirrels.
We're still hunting.
We were hunting, right?
Because we didn't get nothing doesn't mean that we were hunting.
So we did go up there to his stand, and then he started talking to me about how we in the future, for our home, we are trying to clear out a 1 acre pad up there. And he said, he was asking if we should do a portion of it this coming year. And the reason why is so that we can put stands around that opening area and put feeders out there, so it can make it easier for us, and then just maintain it, and then eventually, clear out the whole acre, and we'll go from there. So I think it's a good idea. So we'll be prepared for next year too. We did have a couple of.
Let me see. This other map will
what you got?
Better.
Yeah. So we were planning on doing that, and as well as clearing out the road that we did see that was there previously. I don't know. Did you show them the maps of that? I don't know. Because we do have a washed out road that was in the entrance of the driveway. So we're trying to see if we can redo that.
I don't know if you guys can kind of see if this
I don't know. There's a lot of.
Yeah, if I kind of.
Yeah, it's a little too much light. I don't know. It's weird. It's just the topographic map there going on.
Yeah, I don't know if I bring it. Yeah, there we go. So if you see like the top of this hill right here, that's like the top of our ridge, and if you see the shape of it, kind of it's pretty close to flat on the top up there.
Yeah.
And how that flows, so it kind of the direction of how that goes. We've already said that we want to kind of clear out the area, and that's really close So one side of that is where I have my stand. Where that road goes up that we've already talked about on some of the shorts and stuff.
Yep. Even looking at it, knowing, finding out that we had another ridge up there that's going opposite of what our regular ridge is.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like,
yeah, as we were walking around, we're
going
like,
down a steep road was like, I don't remember having this ridge here.
Yeah, because there was valley, a ridge, and then a big valley, and I'm like,
it was like
the map does not show this.
It does not. The map does not. The map only shows, layer going down, but it doesn't have it going the other way. So that was different. And yes, that does humble us. Yes, it does. It humbles us adults too. Yeah. And I tell him all the time, I was like, I am thankful that we brought our beat up washer and dryer from Virginia over here. I'm so thankful we did bring it because I was not about to use the washing board ever in my life again, because I did when I was a youngster. And
yes, that is the board that you're
the actual board. So
she's used the one before.
When I was a youngling, I was using the washer board. And on top of that, I also had one from my previous marriage when I was young too, because young and dumb, and I had a washer, same, but this time it was molded into a big concrete slab. So you would have the concrete washing board there on one end with the water kind of going down on the other end and to get it rinsed. Man, I still hate washing boards. I hate washing boards with a passion. It reminds me of when it's freezing cold outside and you have to wash those jeans or any type of clothes, and it's so freaking cold outside when it stands on its own.
The jeans freeze and stand up,
and your hands get all freezing cold, and you're trying. Nope, no, I'm good. And every time we go into an antique store, and he's like, "Look at that washing board. You want it?" I was like, "I'm gonna strangle you." I was like, "No way. I'm good. Thank you."
Yeah. For
anybody else that wants it, more power to y'all. I don't want anything to do with it.
But going back up to the top of the hill.
Yes.
I think with that coming this spring, I'm going to try for this spring of getting an area up there cleared out, bringing the dozer guy back, getting the road cleared, which, Dad and I will probably go ahead and go try to clear that by hand, the road leading up to the top of the hill, because we've already cleared a walkway.
Yes.
The walkway is kind of steep.
And it's on this side.
Yeah, and it's basically right behind Mom and Dad's shed room.
Yes.
Is the walkway that leads up.
But they want to clear the other one.
And then we want to go ahead and clear out that roadway, kind of try to open it enough that we can get like a vehicle up there.
Yeah, they already
said. Or four-wheeler. So have a couple parts I need to get for a four-wheeler.
They already said,
but then, because even though we're not going to build our house, anytime soon, up there, it's still something that we can go ahead and do a food plot and be able to have, multiple areas that we can sit around the opening. And, for whenever it comes time for hunting season and stuff like that, we don't have just lanes. We can actually open up an entire food plot and then utilize that as our hunting area until we're ready to build. And so that's definitely a project that we have coming in the very, very near future.
Yes.
Because that's all stuff that's easily obtainable. I think that a dozer guy would be able to clear out that whole thing up there, maybe 6 hours worth of work.
Mm-hmm. And then it's just all about maintaining that road.
Yeah, because I'm not too worried about taking it, because he does have a pretty small dozer, and he can take down saplings easily. Probably anything up to like a 6-inch tree, I think will be okay. But I think anything over that is just he's not really gonna be able to do it.
But it's also it's in a way it's okay because these trees are really not that big. Um, when we were seeing, when we were looking at the topography and the map from Google Maps like years ago, back in like 2006, I think is as far as you went. No, 1990. Was it 2006 or in the 90s?
The road itself was built in 2006.
Yes, and
that I can see.
Even before that, you could see a lot of the property was cleared out, especially a lot of the lumber side that the lumber company had cleared out, and all of these are just little baby trees. So it's you have maybe a handful of big trees, but yeah, everything was pretty open, and it looks like they were going to do something up there in that open field, but they never did.
Yeah, I don't know if they just had opened it for hunting purposes or whatnot, because it definitely does not go nowhere near the edge of the property.
No.
And
you're maybe what 200, 250 feet away from the corner of the property.
Well, National Forest side is the opening was roughly 200 feet, and then from there to the back of the property is probably 300 feet, 250 to 300. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says Liz would smack me if I suggest that.
I know that. You see? Yeah, that's true. Washing board.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, the what?
Probably.
But yeah. So that's what we got. We got going on. More clearing land. Finally, hopefully.
A whole lot of clearing of land.
Hopefully, after this whole gathering house situation, it's all settled down. We can get back into the ball game of building homes.
And I know, showing. So obviously right now during hunting season, videos are probably going to slow down.
Yes.
And as of right now, we're still waiting for stuff to dry out. We're still a muddy mess around here. So trying to get out and do stuff other than clear land is difficult. But right now, I know one of the videos that we already did of clearing the area on the other side of the pond. That's what we are focusing on right now. Because we can't bring in any other materials until this dries out some.
Yeah.
And I still need to bring in at least, 1 or 2 loads of materials that we're going to have to just spread by hand.
Oh, the good old shovel.
No fun, but obviously it's going to happen.
Well, we have the little tractor there too, but
no, we don't.
Little Mac is down. Oh, forgot about that. See, I forgot about Little Mac. Sorry.
Yeah, Little Mac done.
So yeah, it's a shovel.
Little Mac needs new engine. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So yeah, so the good old shovel and arms, I guess.
You want to buy me a tractor?
Yeah, let me go stripping for you.
Yes.
No. I'm sure it's honest work, but I'm not. No, I'm good. I'll send you off to go do that.
Nah, I'm good.
But yeah.
Maybe I can sell some the feet pictures.
Oh yeah, you got pretty feet. I don't like feet.
She hates feet. Doesn't
don't.
like nobody touching her feet.
Yeah.
Doesn't like looking at feet.
Don't look at my feet. Don't touch my feet. And he's like goes past my feet. It's like, don't you dare touch them.
Doesn't touch nobody's feet.
Tell him the day I die, if you touch my feet, I'm gonna come back and haunt you. But yeah, so I was like,
No, all in due time.
All in due time.
Well, we already know that this house will be getting paid off much sooner than what because obviously we are doing a financing thing at the beginning just to be able to get it, and then it will be paid off
before
by next year.
Yes, because we that's why we had to go with someone that had to get it financed. We had to go through someone that had no penalties of paying it off early.
Yeah.
So that was like the most important thing, because if you go with someone else, you get penalties and no.
Yeah, because obviously both myself and my mother, right, are the two biggest contributors to this. Us and my mother, right? but I make a lot more than she does.
Yeah. So it's like him and mom. Yeah.
So basically, me and my mom.
Yes.
Are the two biggest.
Them two are making it happen.
Yeah, she makes just barely enough to pay her bills, and then mom and dad make just enough to pay their bills. So it's me and mom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then some of the other stuff that will be happening, you know, obviously after the move is going to be the contributing factor of us getting the house paid off. And then once that house is paid off, I've already told her I'm going to get a tractor.
Dave's gonna go get a tractor, and he's gonna add all the add-ons to it because you will always need a tractor.
Yeah.
For all of the honey to-do lists, the grandma and mama to-do lists, and all them to-do lists. You know how long they are.
I already know that if I can keep, and I already know that my mom will probably say, "Well, I'll help you pay for it." No, okay. I'd rather the parents put all of the money that they can, that they get, you know, saved aside, stuff for their cabin bills.
Their cabins, yeah.
Because obviously we're still helping with that too. As soon as we get done with the gathering house, we're jumping right back up into doing mom and dad's cabin. So that will be the project we're getting back to, and along with clearing the land for mom and grandma's cabin. And then still clearing land, you know, and doing shots. Like we will be bouncing around. So some of the videos that you see, like that's ultimately what my goal has been, is to have 3 projects, which I know it sounds like a lot. 3 projects going at one time, always. That way we can kind of jump around, and you're not just seeing the same thing over and over and over again. So that way we can go to, you know, like blacksmith shop, woodworking shop, sawmill,
and it's for
type stuff, like being able to build that
for his sanity too.
Building a cabin, clearing land.
You can't stay still,
right? And just kind of bouncing around and doing that. And yes, for me,
it's for sanity. It truly is for his sanity.
I do not just like doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So, but it also kind of keeps it a little interesting too for y'all, right? Of being able to, you know,
there goes answering. Yeah, that's why instead of completing one thing at a time, completing 3 things simultaneously.
Yeah, nice and bright.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And Brett, I was actually going to text you. I have to fix the fuel because the tractor. I don't know if it was leaking whenever I first bought it or got it. That I first borrowed the tractor, but I had noticed. I think it was the second day that I was using it that it was actually leaking fuel, and well, you can always smell it. And I want to say that it was around like where you turn the fuel on and off is where it was leaking from, because that would always be wet. And the fuel line, whenever I took it off, it actually has some of the threads on that are stripped. But I reversed it because it has a long threads on one side and a shorter thread on the other side, and also been able to turn the bowl of where you have the shut on and off. Be able to turn that to where it's sticking more straight out, and then that fuel line reversed. So the one that was plugged into the carburetor is now plugged into the shut-off valve, and that was like perfect. Now it doesn't leak whatsoever. But since what that does have the stripped threads on that side, it will need to be cut and then another fitting put on. But I'd also noticed that the fitting going into the carburetor that actually has like a little filter built in. I don't know if you've ever taken that out or not. It has a little filter built in that also has strip threads, and it was also leaking there. So Dad and I are going through the steps of actually repairing that, just so you know.
Yeah.
So it will no longer be leaking fuel. And
oh yeah, that's
yeah,
been working on a lot of this.
Yeah, and all of the which it does need new. It's still wool, basically all the oil stuff. Because I took all that out and cleaned it all. The still wool for the filters and everything. That's all been cleaned and then repacked and stuff. So that definitely helps. And one of so out of all the spark plugs, the most rear spark plug actually was loose. So I don't know if you knew that. So I took out all the spark plugs, cleaned them up really good. None of them looked fouled. They all look good. They just got cleaned back up and then put back in and actually tightened down and torqued properly. And ever since then, it runs good. But I think a lot of that was the fuel. Like I think it was sucking air in along with the fuel line, even though it was leaking fuel. It was also air to get in there, and that's what was causing it. Like it would run and then it'd stop, and then it'd run and then it'd stop, then it'd run. And I was like,
yeah.
So, well, yeah. Once I get this other fuel line done, it's definitely doing a lot better than what it was. So, no, we definitely thank you guys for letting us use it.
Oh yeah.
Because I still have a little more stuff that needs to be done with the box blade, even just on the house pad area. So
yeah,
I'll be able to get that in there. So we definitely thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just right now, it's way too muddy.
Way too. Yeah.
I'm not trying to get that tractor stuck.
I'm just happy that the water didn't wash off a lot of the dirt and rocks and all that.
Yeah, it didn't really wash out. Most of it, because it's not perfectly flat. It's kind of a little belly shaped. Because we were going to be getting a third load of dirt come in when he was here, and our truck driver, because I had him bring two, and then whenever he dropped off the second one or two at the beginning, and then whenever he dropped off the work that I need to go do, I had a guy call me. I'm gonna go take care of that. It's like, whenever you're ready for the third one, just give me a call. And whenever I gave him a call to try to get that in, the guy that was able to load him for that materials wasn't available.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, all right.
Now it's gonna cost a little more because they're getting their supplies from Mina.
Yeah, and that was just for the dirt. So that the dirt that he was bringing in,
that we need.
The dirt that he was bringing in was a mixture of rocks and clay and shell, and that's what we brought in and had that area leveled, and we needed 3 loads. I was only able to get 2. That's actually what's here locally. Now for the other, because we're also going to put a layer of rock of like the 1-inch it's almost like the same stuff they use on the roads. So I forgot what it's called. It's like a SB2 or something like that. I don't know, but because it has rocks in it and fines, and we're going to put that on the top. Well, the problem with that is that our local area that is the rock quarry for our local area is shut down right now for maintenance. So they're going through and rebuilding and doing a lot of stuff. He doesn't know when it's going to reopen. So for all those materials, he either has to go south down to Mina, or he has to go all the way up north up by Fort Smith. So that adds, the
fuel costs,
the distance and the fuel cost and all that. So that adds, a couple $100 into the cost of materials now over what it normally was. I'm like, oh man. So, but we still got to do it regardless.
Yep.
And it's going to happen. Just right now, we're waiting on weather. Waiting for stuff to dry out before he can even bring us. Because I don't want him to come and drop it here and then we're having to move it further. I'd rather him dump it right where it needs to go, and then we'll just shovel it out and move it around with the shovel.
The good old times.
Because if he dumps it anywhere else on the property, then I have to shovel it into the truck. And then shovel it out of the truck. And to shovel it into the truck, shovel it out of the truck.
You did that with Taco, remember?
Been there, done that, using the Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to do that no more. So.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Tamara Smith says today is my anniversary.
Yep.
Happy anniversary.
She says that. She guess that means that she was issued. Is what she says.
Yeah.
Because her anniversary is on Marine's corpse birthday. I was like, oh. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Says, oh, you're already at.
Greg's in the house. Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, Greg.
So,
Yep.
Once the soonest that we can get the truck in here to finish out the house pad, we will definitely do that. But because since we were not able to get that third load in, and it's not flat, it's belly shaped, I still want to scrape some of that stuff around with the box blade, just trying to get some of that belly out a little bit. And then with that, then we'll bring in the load. Plus, a lot of stuff that we have right now is actually wider than what the actual house pad's going to be. So
which is okay, because that's how we did want it.
Yeah, which is, I mean, for the rocks, because it's the whole area is going to be flat, is bigger than what we planned on, but where the actual house is going to sit only needs to be a 12 by 56. I think is what we had planned out, and then they suggest doing 5 feet on either side to make it a little bigger. So we said, okay, well, maybe a 30 by 60. We can look at doing something like that. But to do a 30 by 60 all in the rock, that's going to take way too much. So from where the actual house is sitting is where we're putting the rock. Yes. So doing one, possibly 2 loads of the rock itself is, I mean, just one load is putting us right at our budget. But it's one of the things we're going to have to go over a little bit. Yes,
Little Mac, finally bit the dust and need a new engine.
Little Mac, it's because it Little Mac's had blow by ever since I've had it, because it has a little 3-cylinder diesel engine in it, and that has always had blow by. And basically, if you don't know what that means, is the rings on the cylinders on your pistons, right, don't seal properly for whatever reason, and it allows the exhaust to kind of go back, through the engine, right, the way that it should not. And in doing that, it actually has a little breather tube at the top of the engine, and that would, whenever it heats up, it takes a lot of the oil that's in the engine and it starts spewing it out of that tube. And it would go through about a quart of oil once a month. Well, this last time that I was using it went through like 3 quarts of oil in less than an hour. And I believe that it actually overheated and cracked the block. I haven't physically seen the crack. I'm just assuming that that's what happened. And the evidence of all the oil that was back here on the house pad area, and also where I was dumping materials up on the driveway, trying to get stuff to help with the concrete culverts so they don't get washed out during rainy season. That's basically what I was doing, and it died. So I parked it until we can get either a rebuild kit, if it doesn't have a crack in the block, because we're going to have to take it out of the tractor and clean it up really good and just look at everything. If it's not cracked, then I'll just get a rebuild kit and rebuild that engine. Otherwise, it's going to need another engine.
Yep.
Yeah, it finally bit the dust.
Yes, it did. But that's why you're looking into hopefully getting a new tractor once this house is paid.
Yeah. So hopefully by fall, maybe, I mean, it might be summertime next year, that I'm actually going to look into a 40 horsepower tractor. And something that would have the grapple and a backhoe. So. I figure if I'm going to do it and I'm going to have a payment on it, I only want to do it once. I don't want to.
Yeah, he said.
I don't want to do the stepping stones of
little by little because it costs more.
Of getting the smaller tractor.
Yeah.
Utilizing that, it's going to be underpowered for all the stuff that I needed to do anyway.
What did you say that people normally say, babe? When you buy the little one, you wish you bought the.
Yeah, is every time you buy the 20 horsepower or the 30 horsepower, they're like, oh, well, I wish I would have bought this, or I wish I would have bought that.
I just saw something awesome.
I'm just gonna go ahead and go do it.
A deer.
No, even better. When I was coming my way back this way, I saw two guys, an older guy, maybe a younger guy, coming down the hill, and they were driving. I know what they. Sorry, hold on. I didn't know what they had at first. And as they drove past me, I saw this big buck that they just caught.
That's probably my buck.
It's like
on our property.
It was from up that way, probably. It was a big boy.
So coming from National Forest.
So it's probably your buck.
Yeah, because if they're coming from right here, because I know that we had a buck coming through our property because I've seen the signs of that. And normally, if you have a buck, especially a big one.
A big boy.
It's going to have a 2-mile radius area that it takes care of.
Well, thanks, Anissa.
And then you're going to have other bucks fighting for that territory.
Yeah. At least you know, and you're not going to be like confused as to why you can't find him later on.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
You got him.
Well, but I mean, eventually you're going to have other bucks.
Yeah, he had some big antlers
coming in the area. Yeah. Wow. Well, good on him.
Yeah, good on him.
I mean, I've heard. Well, it's probably because I heard 3 shots this morning.
Yes,
and that came from National Forest area.
Probably waiting.
And yeah.
Yeah, it was an old white-haired guy missing like a tooth.
Yeah.
It was an older, like, white-haired guy.
We do live in Arkansas.
With a beard down here, he missed a tooth. He had a guy in the back. He was like a brunette,
trucker,
curly hair, short. I think it was a 4-wheeler.
A little 4-wheeler.
Yeah, it was a camel 4-wheeler.
Oh, I think that was the one we just saw a while ago. Wasn't it him? Yeah.
2 guys. One was like 10, brown dark hair.
He heard.
He just lives right down the road.
He's like, that could be anyone. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
My daughter's like, he had long hair,
like,
missing a tooth.
Like, he had a beard down here. He was white, missing a tooth. I don't know. He was like really white, not even gray, just
white beard. Yeah.
White bearded.
White, gray.
Missing a tooth.
That can be
No, I didn't get a buck. Told you. You live in Arkansas, you're going to have most guys
brown guy in the side.
Are going to have a beard and they're going to be missing teeth.
Oh boy, that's our kid.
Well, they were also skinny, like twigs maybe. So probably not yet.
Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna go out there this afternoon. Hopefully,
I don't want to
see something.
No, we're still gonna be going out. I probably won't go out because we've been waking up, before sunrise to go out. I probably will not do that every single morning. I will definitely go out every evening. But for morning times, I'm not going to do that every single. I mean, we're retired, so we normally don't get to bed till 11 or midnight.
He's so tired.
And then we get up around 9.
Like,
so I'm not going to be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning every single. We had our times of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
No, not even at 6 o'clock. We would get up at 4 or 5
when you're in the military, you don't have the option. You have to get up.
4 or 5 o'clock, and you're like,
I have to be about 6.
Because you're under contract, right? You sign a contract to be in the military. It's not like having a job where if you're at a job that you don't like and you find something better, you're like, all right, well, I'm just going to quit this one and go do that one, based off of times or whatever it is.
It's more of like,
you can't do that in the military. You can't just like, oh, I give up. Well, you can, but then you're going to go sit in jail because you're a deserter.
Says if you were up before sunrise, I bet you have been napping around noon. No, we were napping.
I wish. No, we actually went and took another walk around the whole property.
And it was coffee and caffeine's been helping.
Coffee and the lovely
orange soda and caffeine. and coffee.
Has
Caffeine.
Delicious breakfast this morning.
Yeah. And yes, our old kid here,
Ouch.
our older
Wow.
kid,
Thank you.
made us some French toast this
Yeah.
morning.
Made
kinda
breakfast.
It was kind of.
Yeah. She made us some
Yeah.
French toast.
You do it better than I do. Next to my hour.
She's like, Mama, you do better than I do in French. I was like, yeah, because I'm Mama.
I'm like, mine's okay. Mine's all right. It needs more cinnamon.
It's like, it's okay.
Like I can make it. It tastes
You got
fine.
it.
It just Mama's better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But well,
Even with Willow, they let Willow out this morning. And I'm sitting out there.
no, she didn't.
I was sitting out there.
Oops. She like.
She
on
wanted to
the
go
chair.
outside because she knew that we were up on top of the hill.
And she went all the way up and she stopped. She was like, looked at me because I had my whole camel suit and I was zipped up. And she had to like do like a second this, like,
Who are you?
and kept looking at me. And I didn't say anything to her, didn't do anything to her. And she was like, okay, I guess I'm going to walk away from you. And she just like turned around and ran back. And I was like, I told him someone let the dog out. And then I was like, never mind, she's going back. Like, she just left. But yeah.
Chat disconnected. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, we're successfully connected.
Okay, we're back. But yeah.
Yeah, that's bad internet. All right, so you probably got a little circle of
Yeah.
death. Yeah.
But yeah, so she was out there. And the chickens were almost going up the darn hill too. And I was like, get Joe's butt out of that ridge.
Yeah.
I was like,
Crispy chicken.
animals.
So
And I told him, I'm gonna end up shooting one of these
No, that's
chickens.
yeah, so and basically as soon as we get done here, I'm going to be going right back up the hill. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, for that fiber coming soon. They told us again that
Yeah.
what day?
Something the 18th, I think.
The
So we
18th,
actually have. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that kind of chapped my hide was online, right? Because the fiber internet is through the electric company here, right? So it's a different entity, but it's going through the electrical company. So, but you can't go to the electric co-op to get it. You actually have to go through and it's called Wave. You have to go through the Wave associates to set it up. Well, they don't work out of the co-op. You have to wait for them to be in your area to sign up for it. So whenever you signed up online, that wasn't saying that you wanted it. The sign up online was only to show them who was interested in it.
We've gone through this like 2-3 times.
So that way they knew how many people were interested in that area and to let them know that yes, they can go ahead and run it into that area because people will get it. So now, and back when we talked to them in September, they said check back with us in October, and we checked back with them in October and still nothing. So finally we called them again and they're like, and they finally told us or told Gladys,
you got to sign up for it.
You have to sign up for it through a Wave associate, and that they go to different locations. Yeah. And once they're there, you go and sign up. So
they're telling you the 18th and the 19th they're going to be at some church, and then the 20th and the 21st they'll be there at the Arkansas Light place. So
they'll be at the co-op.
At the co-op. Yeah. So I was like,
so
okay.
So now we have to wait. And then once we go, then we'll actually be able to sign up for it to actually have them come out and connect it. Because for us, they didn't run the fiber all the way into our property.
No.
It's actually out on the main pole that's outside of our property. That's on the road. And then from there, they have to bring it across the road to the pole on our property. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 poles.
1, 2, 3,
almost
4.
Going to about to be 5 because we're going to have them come in and bring in another pole closer to the gathering house, and then from that pole, the new pole they're bringing, that's going to have a transformer, and that will then go down to the service pole that we took from up front.
I mean,
So-
they said by this year we would have internet, but
Yeah.
I didn't think
Well, they
this
said
far into
summer.
the year.
Yeah. But yeah, we were supposed to have by
Summertime.
summertime,
We're
which
waiting.
they didn't even have the fiber finished
No, they didn't.
on the road by, I mean, it was like the last week of summer when they were finishing that up.
Yeah. They've been busy. They've been busy for sure. Yeah. So we're all
Yeah.
just waiting. We're waiting. No. Gotta hurry up and
So-
wait.
Yeah, hurry up and wait. So that's going to happen. We're going to go up to the church on the 18th and
Yep.
then go take care of that.
Early in the morning.
And then go ahead and get signed up. If we don't make it to the church thing, then we have to wait a couple more days, and then they'll be at the co-op, and then we'll be able to sign
They'll
up.
be there
So,
at the church thing
but-
for 2 days, and then they'll be at the co-op for another 2 days. So
one
we'll be
or the
there.
other. So definitely next week we're going to get signed up for the fiber. That way we don't have to deal with
I'll be camping out there. I'll be
this.
one of the first ones.
Right? Yes. So yeah, but we're getting towards the end of our time, so we definitely want to thank everybody
Yeah.
for joining us
And following our
on
shenanigans.
our Sunday evenings and talking about some of the stuff that's going to happen here coming up.
Some of the stuff I wish that could happen. I
Still
wish-
clearing lands,
Still waiting for the deer.
still waiting for the deer.
Show
Dad
up.
actually got one of his other older string mowers.
Oh, he got
None.
it.
So-
yeah.
Actually, it was one of the things that we got from the O'Rourke's Littlefield. It was a pressure washer that was busted. The engine was okay. It needed a little bit of tweaking. But Dad got that engine working, and he put that engine onto his old trim mower. And now the thing's a beast.
Oh yeah.
But it needs a cover because it doesn't have a protective cover over the string, and it just like throws stuff everywhere.
Yeah. And we'll figure it out. You know, he always figures it out.
Yeah.
He
So
loves
that's good.
messing around with those engines and motors.
and
everything.
yeah, and we ended up getting another like a commercial grade type zero turn
Yeah.
from a buddy of mine that actually needs a lot of work, but he got that engine running today too.
Yep.
And that thing's been sitting for years and years and years,
Yep.
and he got it running.
Yep.
Super cool on that.
Loves tinkering.
And,
I was talking about that had deer. Oh God! I'm
Uh,
running door.
but all right,
Kind of. I'm coming
You
up.
remember
well,
those guys I was just talking about?
anyway, I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump off here. We got folks that are coming in. It's probably Ron of who I was talking about coming to bring us some bourbon. So, all right. Well, we definitely thank y'all for joining in with shenanigans, like you said. So remember, get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get. Not only on Veterans Day, but just tomorrow. You should definitely do it tomorrow. And we'll see you on the next one. All right. Later, y'all. Can't tell her to put her boobs on. She already walked out the door.